The world's oceans, once the neutral highways of global commerce, have become the newest battleground in the U.S.-China trade war. Beginning today, October 14, 2025, both countries are slapping steep retaliatory fees on each other's ships, threatening the flow of everything from crude oil to holiday toys and adding fresh turmoil at sea. The dispute started when Washington invoked Section 301, a U.S. trade law tool used to counter what it deems unfair practices. Investigators concluded that Beijing's policies let Chinese firms dominate global shipping, logistics, and shipbuilding at America's expense. In response, the United States now charges vessels that are built, owned, or operated by Chinese entities a port fee that starts at $50 per net ton and is set to climb annually to $140 by 2028. Beijing answered within hours, calling the U.S. move hegemonic and illegitimate under international law. China's Commerce Ministry imposed its own levy, 400 yuan per net ton, about $56, on ships linked to the United States, rising to roughly $157 by 2028. A single large cargo vessel could face fees of $3 million for just one visit. China's rules go further than Washington's. The tariff hits any shipping firm in which U.S. entities hold at least 25% of the equity, voting rights, or board seats. That sweeping definition has already rattled the industry. Some American directors on foreign shipping boards have reportedly resigned to protect their companies from the charge. At the same time, Beijing carved out a strategic loophole. Ships built in China are exempt. Analysts say the carve-out could steer more orders to Chinese shipyards and encourage fleets to assign China-built vessels to Chinese ports. These maritime fees are only the latest volley in an expanding conflict. Beijing recently tightened its export restrictions on rare earth minerals essential to tech and defense manufacturing, while President Donald Trump has threatened a 100% tariff on all Chinese imports. Lines of communication remain open, but the trade battlefield keeps widening. The fight is already ensnaring third parties. In a pointed move, China sanctioned 5 U.S. subsidiaries of Hanwha Ocean, a major South Korean shipbuilder, accusing them of aiding the U.S. investigation. Chinese companies and individuals are now barred from doing business with those units, a warning shot aimed at growing U.S.-South Korea cooperation in shipbuilding. Hanwha Ocean shares tumbled on the news. For carriers, the financial stakes are enormous. Analysts estimate the Chinese shipping giant POSCO could face up to $3.2 billion in U.S. fees by 2026. Some vessels en route to Chinese ports have already turned back, and industry planners are scrambling to redraw routes, matching China-built ships to Chinese docks and non-Chinese vessels to U.S. ones. One research note dubbed the trend a spiral of maritime taxation, arguing that shipping has shifted from a neutral service to an overt tool of statecraft. Beyond balance sheets, the new levies could reshape global trade patterns. Higher shipping costs tend to ripple through supply chains, inflating prices on store shelves and squeezing manufacturers. If the standoff drags on, expect longer delivery times, higher freight rates, and fresh pressure on companies to diversify supply lines away from the United States and China alike. For now, both capitals insist they prefer dialogue, but only on their own terms. Until one side blinks, the sea lanes that knit the world together are set to remain a front line in the superpower showdown, and every container ship approaching a U.S. or Chinese dock will feel the cost.